Alright, in a VOD review, Resident Sleeper begins now. So, what I figure I can do is just look at this VOD, try and think about what I would do, compare it to what you are doing, and yeah, um, I'm sure we'll differ on things because I am not you and you are not me. Doesn't mean that your actions are wrong or what I say is necessarily correct. But just gonna give my opinion on things. And yeah, we'll just go from there. And anything that you would like to discuss, certainly feel free to ask me about it. So let's go.
Always poking bridge.
So right here immediately, yeah, pharmacy, for sure, damage boosting the Farah, but since he's not really doing anything at the moment, just small thing here, I would probably damage boost the Widow since she's going to be the one, I guess, immediately taking some kind of action. So I'm pretty sure I'm recording. So yeah, I'll just immediately be damage boosting here since the Farah's not actually doing anything, and possibly the Widow could get a hit on someone immediately. More than likely not, but you never know. So she could get a ding and get some early ult charge off of somebody, or an early kill. So yeah, I would just initially damage boost the Widow until the Pharah gets into the action actually.
Alright, so we're in consistent damage here?
On something?
I'm gonna peek with the jump.
Yeah, here, and yeah, actually looks like you can see her through the shield, but yeah, in this instance, and really ever, you don't know if they have a Widow or not. And so what you could have done, and what I would advise to do, is you never want to peek yourself. You always want to let your team scout for you. It's kind of like the Neptuno train of thought that I like to take, even when they don't have a Widow. And in this case, you didn't know at this point in time whether they had a Widow or not. If you, as a Mercy, know how the fight's going, you're probably playing Mercy wrong. You never really need to see the fight develop, and so you kind of want to take that train of thought and see right now you're just flat out in the open, and if it does this Masters or GM, you're dead. And I think she does end up picking Dig off, which is fine, right? That's the Farah's job, and I don't know if a Farah expert would have to tell Dig what he did wrong here. If anything, maybe that was just a good shot. But on you, you should be dead, because you have no business really peeking here. What I would do is, or what I would hope I would do at least, is pharmacy myself, maybe like mid-height this red building below you, so it just kind of hover like right below the ridge of this building and just blue beam from underneath pharmacy. So especially now that I know that there's a Widow, but even, you always want to pretend that there's a Widow, right? I've heard you call it like the Phantom Widow test, which is true. And, definitely when you're pharmacying, you always want to assume that there's a Widow right out of spawn. And yeah, so I would have just dropped myself right out of spawn underneath this red bridge and just blue beam Dig from below him. And yeah, and just pharmacy from underneath instead of going right over top. And now you've just exposed yourself from 10 different angles, and you should have been killed here.
Top left.
And yeah, she missed that shot on you. Well, missed you, but hit dig, and that's probably that was actually probably her target. So
Fucking goats.
They have a widow.
Jumping to high ground. I'm getting you back
I
up.
have no shots right now.
and I'm okay with the res there since if the team called off the aggression, I would say that was I wouldn't be okay with the res because now you're on a 30-second cooldown and the respawn would have actually been faster, and you still would have had the res for the next engage, which would have happened before your 30-second cooldown. Before your 30-second cooldown was up, but since your team is still pushed up, the res is fine because now it allows you guys to just keep on, keep going at it. So I think the res was fine there.
On you. Alright, go. Widow's back.
Go with-
I'm pushing this widow.
Purple, go with.
Yeah, and see, kind of like right here, that's good. You went over here, you took the cover. Now your sight lines are you're 100% safe. Your sight lines, I don't know if Shadow Play's picking up my cursor. Hopefully it is, but yeah, your sight lines are only open to the space that your team owns, which technically means you are 100% safe and unkillable. So, right now your sight lines are good. You are unkillable in this direction unless Widow takes a crazy flank, which honestly the only flanks that she can take are, which means she has to kill Penguino to get to you first, which is what you want. So that's it's a good angle for you right here, because in pharmacy, where the idea that you want to always have, especially now that you know that they have a widow, is you never want to be seen. You want the only thing that the enemy sees is dig or a Pharah and a beam coming out of Pharah, and that's it. You should always be behind cover. You should never be in front of Pharah or above Pharah. You should always be beside Pharah and behind cover or underneath Pharah under cover. Yeah, so the other team should never see you.
You're by yourself. Purple didn't go with you.
Alright, I'm backing up.
I was sitting point.
We're good. I'm on you now.
I have plants.
Whenever you guys see
We
Widow,
don't
call
come
her
off
out.
high ground.
Yeah,
They're
good
big.
job going underneath.
Brian
Yeah,
supported.
I like that little
Backing up.
subtle, but I like that.
I'm on you now.
You went down a nom. You went to the right to get out of the sight line of the choke to heal the tank. That
I
was
have
good.
plants.
Whenever you guys see
We
Widow,
don't
call
come
her
off
out.
high ground.
There, and this is something that this is exactly what Foot's been working with me on. He's grilling me really heavily on right now.
You're by yourself.
Is
Purple
this
didn't go with
is
you.
actually not needed
Backing up.
and actually dangerous.
Sitting point.
We're good. I'm on you now.
You could have just tapped your shift here actually and stayed completely safe, 100% safe actually. And if the widow was in better position and more alert, like freaking Carpe, you would have died here actually. You could have just tapped shift, or I'm not sure what your shift is, or just double tap shift if you have it, the tap to shift, the tap GA instead of hold it down like I do. You want to always keep your beam target, or always being very relative, but you want to keep your beam target at maximum length from your beam, and because you want to keep yourself at maximum distance away from the fight as much as possible. Because you want to be as far away from danger as possible, always behind cover. That's where you want to be. And with this move, you put yourself, in a sense, close to the fight and in open space, even if it's just for a split second. But you very well could have died here.
High ground.
Boom. It's subtle, but you're in open space, and you put yourself and you gave away actually yourself and your Ferris position. in a sense.
Their main.
Well, Farrah's giving herself away, but you for a split second you gave away your position. So it's subtle, but things like that is that's what Foot's working with me on. You could have just stayed. You could have healed Dig uh, from below him, like I was talking about earlier, and been 100% safe instead of putting in a lot of actual extra effort and kept your GA cooldown. Well, you would have had your GA cooldown back by now, actually, for maybe another extra movement if anything else were needed.
Flankers are on left.
Ryan's supported.
I'm jumping
Ryan
on in
half
3,
healed.
2, 1.
Alright, yeah, they're Widow Junkrat.
Widow's low in the
I'm dead, I'm dead,
back.
I'm dead.
I'm pinned.
Back up.
Alright. On trap.
That's unfortunate. You're like me, just a magnet of Junkrat traps.
I don't know if you guys see Widow call her out.
Yeah, she's playing with the honor right now, I think.
Setting up first.
Did the Junkrat get many shots on people?
Yeah, he's hitting me all day.
Alright,
Good
well, then they
questions.
probably are getting
Good
close to
questions.
He got our fair.
There's this card.
Dig, where are you playing?
Oh,
Widow's
There you are, I'm on you.
I'm gonna come around the back over here.
no
Widow's
personal
Alright,
target.
let's do it.
Pouncing.
Alright,
I'm flanking to the back.
Farah and Mercy have sights on the back line now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Boom, yeah. See this positioning right here? You could have, like we were talking about, like I was saying earlier, you should just be a beam connected to Farah, but they should never see you. They should just see a beam coming from
There
Farah,
you are, I'm on you.
I'm gonna come around.
but they should never see you,
No
Widow's
personal target.
let's do it.
pouncing.
especially when they have a Widow.
I'm flanking to the back.
Farah and
You're completely safe right here, and Dig never strays far enough away from this building for you to come out. You should just stay right here. And if you, I mean, and if I know you're worried about eventually touching the ground, you can just back up and re-G and just tap shift and re-GA to him, but just tap shift and then just back up and re-GA to him and tap shift and never leave from behind cover, and keep your height away from the ground. If I assume that's why you're I don't know, maybe I'm not sure actually, but yeah,
Mercy have
you,
sights on the back line.
yeah, you never need this. You should get pegged here, and I think you do actually, or she takes a shot, but she should kill you. Yeah, like look at this, like your sight lines are completely. One of you should die here.
Sorry,
Yeah, she's looking. She should kill you.
Ryan pushed up.
Yeah.
Alright, Widow sees us. Get back, Dig.
Yeah, Dig never left that building far enough for you to leave that cover.
Don't peek her too much.
Yeah. Good looking out for Dig though. And see here, this again, you GA'd above the building. So something I like to think about with the Widow, especially when they have a Widow with Pharmacy, is it's kind of like with Ryan. They tell you aggressive Ryan's to unbind shift. So when I'm playing Pharmacy, it's like unbind spacebar to not slingshot. When I'm Pharmacying, you really just want to. It's really all horizontal mobility. Yeah, because that vertical mobility is deadly. Because you just slingshotted yourself above that roof. Dig got pegged, but look at you. He just chose having to choose Dig over you, but she very easily could have chose you. Like you're super exposed. If they had a Hanzo, he could have pegged you as well. Oh yeah. So just watch out for that. Just something to work on, you know. I know you told me the GA was tough, but yeah, just pointing it out. So
They're gonna flip around on me.
Mom's by himself.
I can get a hit.
Ryan's
Okay, I'm gonna res. I'm res.
yeah.
Widow.
Yep, yeah, she spotted that in a heartbeat. Yeah, I think she pegs you here too. I remember that. She pegs you twice, I think.
Ryan's on me.
Oh, just once, okay. Yeah, so what you could have done there is you could have GA'd to the body.
Jump again on the Ana.
Oh, you could have shifted, yeah, GA to the body and then slingshotted.
Okay, I'm gonna res.
And that's actually a technique. I actually can't do it. ML7 can do it well, and all the good mercies. But it's like you can fast GA like to the other side. I can do it like I can do it slowly, but you can shift. You shift to them and you flip. Well, anyway, you can shift. You fly to the body. What you should have done. What you do is you fly to the body, and then you slingshot to the other side, and you get the rest. That's what you should have done. Is you got the res in a very dangerous position right here. You should have gotten to the other side where you would have had cover, and then you should have gotten the res off you. I mean, you can see you got the res off in a very dangerous position, and she should have punished you for it. I'm not sure why she didn't. She's a very good widow. I'm not sure why she didn't get the headshot off. I'm not sure why she only took 97 damage, so she didn't fully charge it either, which is weird. I guess she just rushed. I guess she knew you were at the end of your resurrection and rushed it. So good on you to get the res off though. But yeah, just think about it next time for sure. You had the cover. She wasn't going. You saw that she had to use her grapple. She was never going to get to you, so you could have taken a couple more seconds just to reposition yourself, shift over, just back up a little bit, and you can also hold your S key and back up while you res as well. So you could have gotten back into cover during your resurrection as well to get that res off.
Ryan's on me.
I'm on the cart.
I need to jump out.
You have
I'm
orb?
on you now.
Yeah, rips the koi right here.
Nice. Hurry up.
Anna's discorded. I'm down.
Oh, dang, dude. Fuck up my jump. Nice. Good shots. Push. Sorry, one. I'm on you, Jig. Sorry, I'm dead. Jump right next. Stroke right half. We have Valkyrie here. Somebody's in the small room, right?
You're winning.
Alright.
There might be an Anna nearby.
Cart. Anna's in cart.
Penguin pop off. Remember that?
Monkey
Spro-
coming
It
in.
was Spro, but yeah.
They're gonna tire.
Yeah, I know,
Alright,
but
they're
change
definitely gonna
this
tire,
with
so we
Penguin.
need to be looking for that.
Coming up on bomb. We're coming up on
Yeah,
six
that's
ult.
another.
Coming up on six ult.
Just
I'm
a,
with you now.
and I'm sure it's just a GA habit. I do it too.
I'm not up.
Everything I'm telling you, I'm working on myself, so it's not you at all. Not just you at all.
Jump one.
But yeah, that widow should have pegged you again.
Jumping top again.
Winston discorded?
We get cart. We need to get cart.
I got cart.
Okay.
Durgat's half. Durgat's one. I can't get there.
Ooh.
Davis pushing you one.
Is there a reason for that wide angle there?
Winston discorded?
We can drop this fight if we want to.
I'm not up.
Get in deep.
Got cart.
Coming up with garage.
I'm on Widow. Widow one.
Jump one.
I'm on you now.
Dead.
Monkey's on me.
Jumping top again.
Winston discorded?
We get cart. We need to get cart.
I got cart.
Okay.
Durgat's half. Durgat's one.
Okay, EGA to the Pharaoh. Okay, but their widow died.
I can't get there.
Davis pushing you.
Okay. So what I'm walking through for myself is
We get cart. We need to get cart.
I got cart.
when you GA to the Pharaoh, you opened yourself up to
Durgat's one.
all these sight lines instead of coming up.
We get cart. We need to get cart.
I got cart.
This way when one of the tanks peek themselves, which again you don't know, right? You don't know if they're going to reach the corner, so it's a gamble, right? So I'm not. The widow was dead, so it's not as much of a gamble, and they don't have another sniper, so it's actually a really safe play, and the diva's probably not going to care about you too much. And yeah, you do have Valk, so I mean, if you are pressured, you could just pop it. So I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's just one of those things, line of sight things, where if you take this wide angle like you did, you're opening yourself up to so many LOSs versus waiting for one of the tanks to peek, and now you can heal them from this sight line where you're virtually untouchable, versus opening yourself up when you GA to the Pharaoh to heal, and now you're
Okay.
Durgat's half. Durgat's one.
attackable from all this direction. So This is something minor. This is something that caught my eye, that's all.
No boosters.
I fell.
You have no tank.
I need to get out. I need to get out.
I have no sound.
Get out. Yeah.
They
Okay.
have no bubble. They have no bubble.
All right. Our next jump in, we can balk it.
Tire.
All right. That's Tyre. Can we get sights on it?
Yeah, that sucks for you guys.
It's coming for supports. They got both of
Forces
us.
down.
Winston, jump me.
Get back. Regroup.
Junk on me.
Back up. Sorry. I was trying to see if we can get this free
I got barrage, guys.
Keep backing up to spawn. Backing up.
Do you guys want to go main and off flank right for the barrage?
Yeah, sounds good. Let us know when you're ready.
Alright.
They
We
might
see the
have
top
walls.
They probably do.
Where's
They
There it
just
is.
popped it. They just popped it.
Don't
We can't
pick the widow. Don't pick widow.
Okay.
Yeah, she's just gonna. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's
I don't know
Don't
where
pick.
she is
Just wait
right
it out.
now.
Let's see.
Wait it out.
I'm down.
Winner will- Jumping the widow. I'm raising Zen.
Good job hiding yourself.
I need drop. I need drop.
Yeah, dropping.
Oh, that's a GA habit. That's
Yeah,
all
it's
good.
in- oh,
Where's the widow? I'm jumping this sauna.
Monkey, jump me. Monkey,
two,
jump me behind.
1.
where?
Yeah, I'm fighting Diva.
Actually,
I'm low. I'm low.
I'm still keeping up. I'm on.
Monkey
Diva,
on me
Diva,
still.
I'm
Diva
down.
1. Diva 1. Diva 1.
Yeah, nothing you can do there.
Diva bombed.
All right, we're not really kind of
We're gonna
going in
chase that
much of a
monkey.
plan, so we need to. Alright, gonna try and from above.
Monkey behind. Monkey behind.
Okay.
One.
Back up to spawn.
Good job keeping purple up.
Come up with a plan.
Good job GAing behind
So
him.
they have down walls now. Dig, go on that flank.
You're gonna have tire.
All right, flank barrage. Okay. Flank barrage.
Call out
and
widow
then-
when you see her.
So
Trying to
Mercy-
take too much damage.
I
Jake,
think they
tell us when you get
mana
that flank in.
Nungi.
Diva's on
Okay.
balcony.
I'm going.
Jade, when you get that flank in, when you're in position, we'll bomb over, and then we'll crowd them, and you can barrage in.
Okay, I'm in
Okay, we
position.
traded. We traded.
I'm in position.
We're rising.
You're resing that?
I'm purple.
I
I'm
need to
back.
stabilize. I need to back out. I need to back out. We need to back out.
Reset. They have no res
Yeah,
when
just
I
hide,
spec.
Jake. Hide.
Yeah, I'm hiding.
I'm gonna use trans and then maybe switch to like Lucio.
Alright, I'm going
I'm
to
getting
use
both.
infra sight out once you start pushing. Somebody went
We need to be a bit quicker on these engages. Alright, I'm ready.
Alright. Yeah.
No grapple.
Jumping up in 3, 2, 1.
No sights.
I'm gonna primal here.
purple.
I'm
Okay.
trapped,
Almost
I'm
out of-
dead. I'm dead.
I'm
You're
bombing
purple,
up
dude.
there. I'm bombing up there.
Alright, get that barrage up. We can still do it.
Widow's on me.
Let's do on me.
What's our cart?
Monkey behind. Tire.
Kill me.
Ah.
Oh, Oh, I pressed Q instead of 2.
Feels bad.
Widow down main. Half.
Pushing this Junkrat. I can't do it.
I got you.
Let's keep getting cart progress. Alright, what do they
Yeah,
use? Have they
just a
nano-
mistake there, that's fine.
Yeah, they just nano.
None of this is really you.
Okay. They just use tire.
I don't know, mate.
Do you have a killable? You got a max? They
All
probably have
that
bomb.
was fine. None of that was really you.
I'm down.
They would have used it. We can get one regroup if we get out now.
Yep, we got one group.
Do we want Anno or Lucio?
Yeah, that was just a mistake.
Sounds not really
It's a GA habit.
Let's go.
makes a lot of sense. So I'm just dying to Widow someone.
We sort of just need barrage. This
Go
right
Lucio
there,
then.
yeah. We need to go without that diva being here.
Yeah, we can
We need
barrage.
barrage while that diva's not here. We need to go.
Okay, jumping top in 3, 2, 1.
I'm just pushing cart. I'm gonna pressure.
Lucky
We're
drops.
all
He's
top.
weak.
We're all top.
Lucky's
That's
weak.
low.
Okay, drop, no jump.
Excellent. This is perfect. This is exactly what you should be doing as Mercy 99% of the time. This is what Foot is grilling me on and telling me that I should always be doing. Keeping your beam target at max range and healing from behind cover all the time. This is how you pharmacy. This is how you just heal as Mercy. What you're doing right now. You're behind cover. You're out of the fight. Like, they don't know that, they don't care that you're there because you're so far away. And I mean, it helps that, you know, Dig's in position here too, because you're right. I mean, it helps that your target's also here, but this is the general. This is how it works. And this is your concept in pharmacy. If there's any building, if there's any structure that you hide behind, this is what you do. And like, start driving Dig. Hey Dig, there's a structure over there. You need to fight near it so I can hide, right? So, you know, especially if there's a widow, and if he's, you know, he's gonna have to work to protect you just like you protect him and heal him, right? So, but this is not like this is perfect. You're hiding, and this is what you need to do. So that's good. Like right there, that was good.
Pushing Yana. Widow's on high ground. Widow's on high ground. Widow's
I'm bombing.
Ana's
Yeah,
rotating high
like
ground.
see how far away you are healing him.
Massive.
You know, you couldn't help but get in the fight there, but that's fine.
That's it.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Oh no.
That's unfortunate.
I missed
It's all good.
Mana one touch.
I am. I'm baby. Gonna do like some type of bunkers. Damn.
Honestly, their Widow is pretty good. If we go double sniper, we can probably Zen safe. If we find our Zen's just getting
Then spawner.
what is our big swap going to?
Put on their comp as well.
You think we go?
Probably.
I think we swap the Zen to an Honor or Lucio. I think Mercy's too good on the damage boost.
If we're keeping this
And the
one,
res, yeah. With the
I had a
dual.
bad song, that was the problem.
That's
They're
like
running
Hanzo?
Ryan, Zarya, Hanzo.
Double sniper Ryan Zarya. Okay.
Yeah, here since
knows
Penguin's
Rapid?
actually getting
can
the
put more
shots
res in.
off, maybe damage boost Penguin because Dig's not doing anything right now. I don't know. You there's probably no way for you to actually know that he's not going to do anything. But I don't know. I think it's just good to damage boost the Widow because she's probably the only one who's going to accurately get those shots off in those close spaces, not the Hanzo. At least not until they get closer. Just because hit scan versus projectile, I'm not sure. That's not a science. So I don't know. Yeah, just something minor. But I just saw Dig not taking shots, and I saw Penguino taking shots. So I don't know. Just something there.
Our snipers then.
Call out Widow whenever you see her.
Ryan's is spotted.
Honors in the
I
back,
got you.
man, jump on
Widow's
Honor.
main. They're both main.
Good line of sighting. Nothing like they couldn't shoot you. They couldn't do anything. So that was a free res. So that's good.
Jump on Honor.
Dropping in 3, 2, 1.
Right pinning, already
Not
dropped.
as a group.
They're backing up.
You're not as
Probably did need a GA there. Something minor, but could be costly in the future, especially against maybe a better team. Just probably didn't need the GA there. Just a couple of steps forward. Or just a tap GA there. You did GA really close to him, and you could have just tapped GA there. It would have saved you. Your GA cooldown would be back by now, and that's something Foot has told me about.
Going back top.
Ryan discorded.
I'm just
Top.
getting damage on the Rhine.
Go on the top there.
Yeah, Widow's in yellow, I
He's
think.
on main.
Might be main.
I need to jump back up top.
Ryan's discorded.
Anna's in the back. I'm gonna drop down on her in 2, 1.
I'm not listening. I don't have...
And I imagine you went over here because you thought Widow was... I know you said Widow was on yellow and then maybe main, and I guess you were afraid of getting picked off. But then Nam was weak and went, I guess, back to high ground for healing, but then you left, and then he ended up dropping, which was a mistake on his part, I guess, because he always seems to go in when he's low for some reason. And now Diva's hurt. I guess because they expected you up there still on main. And this, I don't know, this to me just sounds like a failing on the team's part because no one has still identified the Widow, which is something the team needs to understand. The supports need to know ASAP and at all times. And we also have, there's this Penguinos was still Widow, so he needs to know. And no one, I don't think, has identified where she is. We see her shots, but no one's just still verbally said it. So you're still unsure, obviously. So I think everyone on the team knows where she is, but you, which is not your fault because you're not going to be freaking looking for her. All right, that's idiotic. So you're doing your job. You're running from her. But yeah. Giving where I think she's at, which I think she started in spawn, and I think you correctly eventually identified her, but was never confirmed to where she is. It looks like she's on cards. I think you would have been safe on red, where your tanks would have gotten healing and you guys would be in a better position now. But I don't think that's your fault. So running probably was the better instinctual move, but I guess tactically or whatever, Probably should have stayed on red.
Have boosters, I have to get out.
Tanks,
Rhino-
you're low. If you come back to the platform, we can heal you up.
Front half. Bubble.
And yeah, this was a mistake.
Hanzo's low.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
risked
go
your
ahead
life
and
big time for Nom, but luckily you weren't punished.
Are we backing up the truck?
Widow's top left. Widow's top left. I'm jumping. You can
Go
jump
back.
her, Dragon? I'm pressuring the...
What up?
Jumping up on you.
When you contest,
Stopping cart, stopping cart.
get Hanzo, get Hanzo, Hanzo.
That's a rip. I know you were trying to get Hanzo, and I think you get pinned here. But yeah, you were trying to get Hanzo. And you would have survived if you got to Hanzo. You would have survived. So, that's just unlucky.
What else? Are they coming up on Dragon?
I got
Make sure you
dragon.
guys
I
aren't
got
stacking
dragon.
sight lines. Which of the snipers have been killing people, if any?
No
Good
one.
questions.
I
I
don't
like it.
think they've killed
Has Hanzo been landing
We've been
storm arrows and stuff on our tanks?
He's hit me once or twice.
Okay.
Not full, but like in general, once or twice, 2 hits.
Yeah, right.
And wall. Watch your corners.
Mercy? Top mid.
I can throw a dragon here.
If you think it's
Split
good.
them
Another
up.
GA thing. Yeah, you kind of GA too close to purple.
Run.
You didn't need
Push,
to.
push, get right.
Push him. Ryan's charging in.
I got it. Push
I'm
in.
pushing the rest of them out. I'm slept. They're gonna leave me.
Run.
I got scattered.
Push.
I backed them up.
Widow one, Widow.
Ryan charging in.
Oh.
Where?
I looked at this earlier. You get pretty drawn into the fight.
Push
I'm
in.
pushing the rest
You
of them
didn't
out.
need to.
I'm slept.
You did good here. Damage boosting purple so he gets his mech back. I think you should have continued. I know you called for the push, which was good. Like, you guys were up, I believe, but then purple gets demaxed.
I got it.
The penguin gets the pick. Purple gets demaxed because they nano Ryan and he got hit by the charge.
Push
I'm
in.
pushing the rest of them out. I'm
And
slept.
Nom's primaling. They woke him
Ryan.
up because they slept him, then woke him
Ryan.
up. We're trancing. They got the widow. Nom kills the mercy. but
I got scattered.
we're okay. The trance keeps you up, I think.
I
Yeah.
backed them up.
Widow one.
Oh, you got a harmony on you.
Widow.
Ryan charging in.
Oh.
Where?
Okay.
They're gonna leave me.
Ryan.
Let's see. Right here, you get drawn in, but you wanted to push up. But when you saw purple get demaxed,
Slept. They're gonna leave me.
Ryan.
what do I want? Yeah.
I'm
Purple
charging
gets
in.
demaxed. I think your next train of thought is, okay, I can't help purple anymore.
I got it.
Well, okay. So you start damage boosting purple, great.
Push
I'm
in.
pushing the
But
rest of them out.
then
I'm slept. They're gonna.
you want to help Nom, but
Leaving.
Nom's out of
Ryan.
reach at this point in time. Nom's out of reach. He's done. Like, he's out of your effective range to help. Now you're healing Sequoia, which isn't doing any good. So at this point, you should be backing up and damage boosting purple. That's all you're good for at this point. Nom's out of reach. He's primaling, so he's safe. He's got infinite. He's got 2-second cooldown on his jumps. He's good. He's got 1,000 effective HP against Orion Zarya. He's gonna take damage, but he's probably gonna be okay. And so, but you get shattered because you're drawn up, but your team peels for you pretty well here. But yeah, you just get drawn into the fight, which is, just comes with remembering to keep the fight at Mercy's maximum beam range and no further. Like, you don't want to be in the fight. As Mercy, you don't want to be anywhere near this fight. You are afraid of being in the fight. You're a medic and nothing more. Of course not being a heal bot, but you don't want to be in this fight if you can help it. So that's kind of the Mercy thing. Yeah, you just get drawn
I
in.
got scattered.
Push.
I backed them up.
Widow one. Widow.
You have
Oh.
no idea how you survived that.
Where?
She's in the lower. She grappled up top. She's up top on the left public. Or, sorry.
Yeah.
One,
And
she's
here,
one.
I would just
I can't hit her.
keep damage boosting purple.
She's out. She's made.
He's almost got to make
They're
back.
gonna have grab. They're gonna have dragon.
Yeah, which means we don't have trans to save
Oh,
that.
we use
So play
And
split.
Hanzo's up on top with you.
It's good to know.
Dragon, if you could eat any of those, that'd be great.
And so, since you made that call, and rightfully so, you realize you don't have trance, maybe Sequoia pops off, and get some headshots in. So I would be damage. Well, I would hope, if I'm thinking straight, I would be damage boosting Sequoia here.
You have a
Yeah,
Sombra now?
what you start doing.
Okay.
So that's
He's up
awesome.
top territory.
He's near you guys. Left, left, left.
Yeah,
Just go ahead,
keep
half.
damage boosting
They got
Sequoia.
Tanks
as
on
you
point.
can.
Hanzo as well.
Watch for grab.
I'm
We need to
chasing the
eat it.
Sombra. I can get her.
Coming up
dude.
with Dragon.
Grab, grabbing.
For grab.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
here
that's
comes,
the
yeah.
thing.
Get Hammond. Hammond.
Keep the fight at Mercy's beam length, max beam length.
He's up top territory.
Big
Near
time.
you guys. Left, left, left.
You can
Sorry,
draw
half.
through the fight
They got
again.
Tanks on point.
Winston
Hanzo
now.
as well.
Winston's
Watch
low.
for grab.
I'm
We need to
chasing the
eat it.
Sombra. I can get her.
Right here. Stay right here. You need to go no further than right here. Just stay right there. And see, what's really good about your Mercy is you switch between. You're not afraid to switch between healing and damage boost. You do really well with that. So that's massive, because you're it's so minor, but your damage amplified probably turns a lot of early, probably turns team fights early with that, especially with your you do well with your target prioritization as well with who you damage boost. You've done it really well so far this match. Yeah. See how you got drawn into the fight there? That spelled death, and that Zarya knew it. That Zarya smelled that real quick.
Coming up with Dragon.
Grab,
again.
grabbing.
Yeah, she didn't waste any time.
For grab. Yeah, here it comes. Yeah.
Get Hammond. Hammond.
Yeah,
Nice
yeah.
seat, nice seat, nice seat.
Mercy.
I have my Valkyrie. I think we probably should use it soon.
Zarya's, you can kill Zarya, she's high
Mercy one.
charge.
Get Mercy, get Mercy, Mercy.
Zarya after.
Mercy discorded.
Get Mercy,
She's
Mercy, Mercy one, Mercy one.
one. She's one.
They're onto Genji.
Mercy
Get
one, Mercy
Zarya,
one,
get
get Mercy.
Zarya.
I can't get her. I got the Mercy. I got the Mercy.
And on perk.
I need help. I need help. I'm coming.
I'm throwing
Yeah,
Dragon
fire.
in there.
We have five,
Not
we
yet,
have
not
four
yet, not
rolls.
I saw 3 of them in there. Sorry.
Sombra's on the right.
No, it was just...
They're on Genji Sombra dive now.
Sombra, Sombra. He's
It's
down there
outside.
still.
All right, I'm valking this fight.
Discord.
Got her.
That's right. They'll have maybe Primal. They
Good
just
job
switched to
helping
Diva.
out.
They just switched to Genji.
Early's going to hell now.
Winston jumped up. Winston jumped up.
Diving.
I have train.
No, there maybe.
On in the back,
Since
drop
we
on.
know, just he's primal like 2 fights ago. He might be. I didn't see his old charge. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. 12, 88. So you probably already has it, but we know he used it like 2 fights ago. If he didn't have it by now, which I assume he did. I assume he does. If we checked tank ult and we know a big fight's coming up, just be deciding which tank needs your damage boosting at that point. Like that was a juicy opportunity when they both go up here, especially if Nom needed it. Oh my gosh, that's cleave damage with damage boost. Oh man, that's 10-15 right there, easy. So when they jumped up the dive the tanks, that was just
The
juicy.
Diva. They just switched to Genji.
Winston jumped up. Winston jumped
Right
up.
there,
Diving.
Winston Diva. Oh man, that's
I
just
have
free.
train.
So
I'm jumping.
On in the back, drop
I
on
got
Norman.
We're valking this.
I'm slapped, they woke me.
her, I got her, I got her.
yeah,
That's
I
fine.
know you had told me about you felt like you were holding your Valk too long, so maybe you felt you just needed to pop it, and I totally get it. Totally get it. Yeah, but I think that was maybe like 3 seconds premature, and I would say because
Winston jumped up. Winston jumped up.
Diving.
I have train.
I'm jumping.
On in the back, drop on
when you pop it,
All right,
Norman.
we're
you damage boost Dig and Sequoia, who neither have line of sights on, I think those are the 2 tanks, Diva Winston,
valking this.
at this point in time. And then the tanks or have also really yet to engage. I guess they're engaged in the back line.
Slap them, slap. They woke me.
Yeah. So now are they really only engaging, and then they're just engaging Winston, right? So really we're losing really a lot of value. Well, I mean for 3 seconds, right? But I guess just something nitpicky there.
I got her.
Alright.
That's on it. Copying. Trent. Get on Kurt.
Targets. EMP'd.
I'm on baby. I'm on
But now you're about just killing it. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the next?
You're about killing it.
Primal?
They have
Nicely
a
done.
or-
Target. Who's on target? Trace to the mini.
Western.
Nice, dude. Yeah.
Where's she's dead? Tracer's on cart.
Western.
Let's cart. She's dead.
Winston.
See how you're in the back just healing? That's what you want to do.
Nice.
Like, that's what you want to do. Like every fight, just in the back, out of the fight, healing if you can, and then every time you GA, you're trying to GA to a new place that's out of the fight, just healing. So, but yeah, dude, your verse is looking good. You're looking real good, dude. Your target prioritization is good. You're always on. You seem to always be on the right target. You're never on a useless target, which is hard to do. Actually, you'd be surprised. Knowing who is the next person that's going to take action on your team is going to be useful. That's that can be hard to figure out. So, yeah. Yeah, just keep working on, especially with pharmacy. I would really work on just staying behind cover a lot more. It's really. I don't know. And feel free to ask any other mercies, but I really like staying underneath my Pharaoh when there's a widow. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I'm nowhere near. I'm nowhere near my Pharaoh when there's a that's a mercy. I don't know when there's a widow around. I try not to be found at all, and sometimes I'll lose beam range sometimes because of it. I'm still trying to figure out that maximum range I can be at, so I'm still very bad at it. But yeah, it's difficult. Widows and widows make life hard as pharmacy, but you really want to be get used to being around cover. Try to limit as much vertical mobility as you can. Make it more horizontal use. Don't be afraid to not slingshot everywhere when there's a widow about, and just in general, make slingshot more use for horizontal distance or getting up to high ground that the widow doesn't have access to, or high ground that you already own. But if it's high ground that is in the widow sightlines that you guys don't own, then just don't do it. It's fine. It's fine as mercy to walk. It really is. Like it's fine. Yeah, widows are dangerous. But yeah, dude, I think that's about it. If I have anything else, I'll definitely I'll let you know. So, alright, man, this was fun. Have a good one. Hope you find something out of it. I know it was pretty NA, so. Have a good one. Hope you enjoy it.